All right, welcome back. So last time we left off in the series, I was building stuff. I was all like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make this thing." Completely changed my mind now. Maybe I built the inside and the outside here. Like if I go outside um, into my house, you can see there's all these, yeah, all these chat commands. They're okay. It's something that's kind of neat, but I want to build something really cool. I have some ideas. Nexus is coming up soon. And when I see all this stuff out here, it's like that's a lot of wasted space. The other thing I've noticed is that, popularity wise, when I'm looking on the leaderboards for houses right now, if I go in here and check the house ratings, I'm getting up there, but the stuff that's at the top is like, you know, Brazilian slide wars or box wars or something. I don't know what Tobago is. And then the other thing is they all have a little code section. So I've decided I'm going to totally blow this out of the water. I'm going to make an insane, really easily accessible, super good code section outside, and maybe like a studio or like a little house kind of a deal inside where it's a little bit homey. There's a lot of interactive furniture and stuff, and I want to have an interesting build. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to bomb all of this stuff. I'm going to eat it all, and it goes 89 furniture's found, and this skull does not like getting eaten. I don't know, for whatever reason. The weather effects things don't like it. The plates don't like it. The PK statue doesn't like it, and I'm left with this nice empty castle, which I'm not going to touch right now. Surprise! I'm not building in my house. I just wanted to consume my books and things. Mainly the horizontal wall and the vertical wall that I had placed in my house. That's the stuff that I really wanted. So I'm going to head in here, boogie up. The idea is that in my house here, my guild house section, I actually like the exterior pretty much. It's fine for what it is, but when I head inside here, there's a nice open space, which I've kind of been thinking about what I want to do in here. I've seen some hotels recently, people building hotels, and I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't really done that. I did like a dorms kind of a thing one time. I had some, sleeping arrangements and stuff, which was okay. It was kind of neat, but it's not really the same thing. Something interactive, something where people can, do their role play stuff if that's what they're into, and maybe, have a nice big dump for furniture. I am going to take my PK statue out. This is going to be a non-PK area, so no swords, no bombs, no arrows. And let's get started. So my idea here, I've seen a lot of people do like a staircase up and then some beds at the top in their house. My first thing is I want to get my rooms kind of cordoned off, and there's going to be an aspect of that where you're dealing with the size of the furniture that you want to put in there as well. So you got to consider when you have the horizontal walls, vertical walls, or wall fence, or other kinds of fences that you're putting in place. It's something where you want to have like a consideration of how much space those take up, and then also be looking at when you have those like placed properly. If you can adjust, if you can have something that comes in such a way where you have space for everything that you want to keep in those rooms, right? So I'm going to keep vertical wall. Come on, vertical wall. I only got 18 of those. I think there's some in the other house still. In the exterior, I had a few. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm going to keep it about here. I think that's two. Actually, no. Let's do a solid guess. Let's think about a solid guess here. What's that look like? Two vertical walls from the top. Maybe. I think it's just just about perfect what I wanted. I wanted to line up with this brown line on the wall up here. Bam. Look at that. Oh, I got an eye for it now. I've been doing this too long, guys. Okay. So that's a pretty small room. I could probably fit a bed and like a table or something in there. That's decent, I suppose. When I'm thinking about like little hotel spaces, what I would be tempted to do is to have a couple of rooms on either side and something else, kind of larger in the middle, probably a big fireplace and a seating area, kind of like a ski lodge or something. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to search my beds and I'm going to check on there. And this kind of goes, this is I'm not really doing this in such a fashion where it would be how I would necessarily approach building a big room. I have a lot of coffins. That's interesting. Maybe we'll have some special guest bedrooms upstairs. Okay, so we'll do those beds. Carpet bed doesn't really count. Magic carpet bed is like seating. And I have one treasure bed for Scrooge McDuck. Okay. Yeah, I think the guest bedrooms upstairs sounds like a fantastic idea to me. So this is actually going to go, I'm going to keep a theme room. That's what the plan is here. We're going to keep a couple of theme rooms and a couple of normal rooms. So my normal rooms will be not gold and, the oriental stuff. We're going to keep these oriental items over on the other side here. Oh, if it places. Are you going to place? There you go. And we'll keep these normal, like, nautical Christmas beds. They're totally, like, nautical lines on there. I'm going to keep these on this side. So this is kind of an interesting point, is if I want to, I can keep this over. And this is really a matter of taste when you're building. What I would recommend is that you do the same thing as I'm about to explain here, the same all the way around. So what I see is that I've got this horizontal wall, and it's not touching the edge here. So if I go one over, I can touch the edge. And if I touch the edge, it gives me one more half unit or unit, depending on how you want to look at it. It gives me one more little line of space to deal with. That means I can throw this guy in the corner a little bit further. And I can look at it as this room has just gained one line, right? I've not wasted this space. The other thing is that when you have this touching, it actually adds to the way that your elevation works. So if I add another horizontal wall here, and I throw it down below, I put it on layer 0, this will have a greater height. This will appear to be higher than if I move these guys back over one. So if I take these guys over one, it doesn't line up the same. It doesn't work in the same way, right? So if you're going for that height, if you want to have it elevated, which I definitely do, that's always a thing for me. When you have that elevation there, you need to have it touching the wall. So if I do it in this way, it looks okay, but the connectivity of this line into that room is going to make it's going to bring it down. It's not going to have an elevation when you're viewing it. When you slide this over, there's actually 100 different ways I'm sure that you could do this. You could put something in that corner. I could put a pillar in there. I could put a bookshelf that was sitting in this corner here. But I'm going to preserve my bookshelves for the house. I have scads of them, but I'm going to fill the entire front lawn with bookshelves. Okay, so I'm going to keep that over. This is another way you can do it, actually, come to think of it, is you can have it one up and then one down. And this makes it look like this is actually on top of this bar that's going up here. Never mind these, because we're looking at like a 3/4 head-on perspective. What winds up happening is we don't have any kind of like side view or like off-angle shading or something. So this actually looks like it's on top. It looks like this bar is exactly as tall as this section of this fence, and this one's sitting up on top. I'm gonna go for this guy, because then this bar on the side, my left-hand bar, looks like it could be taller than that. And I'm tempted to do a third vertical and a third horizontal across, but I'm going to avoid that And instead, I'm going to keep my next bed over here a little ways, and I'm going to look at how I can increase the size of this space without throwing more furniture at it. So this is always a nice trick. I'm going to keep this vertical wall one over. And this doesn't mean that I'm going to reduce the space of my next room. It just means that I'm going to increase the space. So now instead of having it just be one line that we've saved in this room, well, not saved, but repurposed for this particular room, I have this line on this side and I have a line on this side. And what I will do is not on this side. This has got a nice hard edge here. What I will do is keep on the other side here some kind of an object. So I will keep some kind of an object or some kind of a something here when I'm coming through. I'll put some flowers there. I'll put a pillar there. Maybe I'll put, something that's eye-catching, and I will keep it there. Maybe even it will come down for like a little platform or something where we're gonna have our fire room seating or something. If that's the edge that's lined up there. But what I will do now is bring these guys across, and this will be our second room. And I will do exactly the same thing on the other side. To save time, I won't force you guys to watch that. I'll throw that together outside the video. But I'm going to make exactly the same room on this side. I'm going to throw this guy in here. And there you go. There's my next room. I'll take these guys again. And notice I have 3 units of space. I'm only going to put 2 units of space on this one, and there's a reason why. So when I'm building these, I want to make these guys with little stairways into their rooms. So I'm going to take these vertical walls here. If you're using fences, you can just like use a vertically spaced fence. Like you can rotate it. These guys do not rotate. They're extremely old. I like using them because they're very plain and very quick to throw in there. There's no rotation on these guys. I mean, it does mean that you have to kind of manage your furniture a little bit. I have 18 vertical vertical wall, and 22 or 27 or something on the horizontal wall. But if I do this, see, now I have that little peg right there, and that's showing here. It's not showing on this side, and I still have that too. So I have underneath of this banister, if that's what you can call it, it's a banister. On this banister here, underneath it, there's that horizontal wall. There's actually 2 horizontal wall pieces. I'll do the same thing over here. Throw these guys in. Oh, if this guy copies. I'm using a mouse pad. I'm like on a laptop, so my mouse is not great. So these guys are going to go in here, and then from there I will throw in these other horizontal walls on this side, and I'm going to keep them exactly the same. So I'm going to go not in the space here. I'm going to keep them on the same level, but I'm going to keep them here. This is going to be a slightly smaller room. And that's okay. In hotels, you see it all the time. It's intentional that this is going to be a slightly smaller room. And this one here, I'll keep some kind of an object. In fact, you know what? I've got a hankering to do that right now. And there's a bunch of different ways that I could approach this too. I could steal that space. Like maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll take this across. And if I wanted to, I could make them both double. But I like the character of having them slightly different, and then I can throw different furniture in here. Maybe I can grab that guy from underneath this without touching something. No, it's packed right in there. Okay. So I'm gonna take that green bed. I have to click M and take this guy out of here and move it over. I will definitely cover this up anyway, because this right here is an eyesore. I don't like seeing these kind of like super bold intersections in a build. And even like this actually is going to look really cool. So instead of having the same pattern here and the same pattern here, it actually looks better to have it be a little bit, a little bit off. That way, when you see these walls, they don't all blend together. It doesn't just look like a wallpaper or something. It actually looks like structure. anyways, gonna throw in a couple of railroads, and we'll call it for this video. And call it that frames. So these are going to be my patented staircases. Not patented at all, but everybody loves them. People are like, oh, what did you use there? I'm like, railroad! Because they're cheap and they're effective and they were in game when I needed them. I also have a bajillion of them. Okay, so we have a couple little rooms. I will come back later on and fill this gap, probably with something in the hallway outside of these rooms. I'm going to throw up the other guys, and we'll be back for the next one. Thanks for watching.